I'm gonna go over how to wrap with gauze and tape using USA Boxing rules and regulations. Make sure anytime before you wrap, make sure you know who's the sanctioning body. So is it California State Athletic Commission, Nevada State Athletic Commission? Is it USA Boxing? Because they all have different rules and regulations. I'm gonna go based off USA Boxing. That's amateur boxing in the United States. First, I have my gauze, I have my tape, and then I like to put Vaseline on their hands first. The reason why I like to do that is it makes the gauze not stick to something to their hand, where it's a little bit more flexibility. That's what I like. You don't have to do that. That's kind of a thing that I like to do. And let's get started. So before wrapping, I like to make the padding for their hand. Everybody's different, so I like to ask them, do you like a lot of padding? Do you like a little bit of padding? USA Boxing allows 1 inch of padding. So as long as the padding over the knuckles is less than 1 inch, you're good. If you have anything over 1 inch, you're gonna get flagged for it. But some boxers don't like 1 inch. Some boxers like less padding. So I like to ask them first. Once I ask them, do you like a lot of padding or not too much padding? You like a lot of padding? So he likes a lot of padding. A lot of padding is 1 inch. We can't go over 1 inch. The way I do that is I like to use their hand when I do the pre-pad. And here I go directly over their knuckles. Keep your hand open. And since he likes a lot of padding, I like to count them to make it equal. 35 times around, 30 to 35 will probably be roughly about 1 inch. So this is 1, 2. Again, this can vary on the size of the hand. So sometimes looking at it yourself, you can see, okay, that's over 1 inch. I'm gonna do 30 times around. So that's 2, 3 here, 4, I go directly over. 5, 6, 7. If you look from the top, it's directly over, straight across. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Now, right here, top. Take this off. And that's his pattern. And if you look, make a fist, that's less than 1 inch. I could probably do a little bit more. I could probably get away with like 5, 6 more times around, but I think this is plenty of padding. And that will be it. I'm a perfectionist, like I'm weird about it. So when I do the other hand, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna do 35 times around. And now we have a pre-pad. And now we're gonna go into wrapping the hand. Before I lay the pad down, I like to get a base going. But remember earlier in the video, I mentioned about the Vaseline. This is the time you apply the Vaseline. So I would get a little bit of Vaseline and I put it around their hand. The places that I like to put it is in between the fingers because that's the most uncomfortable area sometimes for boxers. With the gauze and tape in between the fingers, that could cause some uncomfortable situations. The Vaseline kind of keeps it lubricated so it's not so hard on your fingers. And that's it. Now I've got this Vaseline. Now I grab the gauze. And the first time around, I don't go too tight yet. If I go super tight right now, it'll cut out his circulation. So I make sure his hand's open and I work my way down first. not too tight. 1, 2, 3, work my way down. You don't have to count. I just did it just cause, but I create the base. After that, I work my way down. One thing that I like to do every time before I go to the knuckles, I go thumb. Thumb down, and from here, I work my way up. I do the thumb, I go across, and then I create like an X. Here, I go X. If you see the X, I go to the wrist. I work my way up a couple of times, and then I go to the thumb again. I create that X again. Now this is the base. Now it's a good time to lay the padding down. Now that you created a base. So this is the base. It's time for the padding now. Here, make a fist. I like to make sure that it's sitting over the knuckles. A common mistake with the pad is that when you lay it down, the pad is up here and the knuckles are here. This is something that happens often. Make sure that the pad is sitting over the knuckle, not on top. So when it's here, over, open, this is where I go around it. Here. And with the padding, I go a little tighter now. Now with this, anytime you go over, that's when you go tight. On the bottom, you don't gotta pull no more. And then I do the same X. My way back, X. I work my way to the wrist. I like to go up on the wrist every time I come back to the wrist. I work my way up for the support. Now here, what I do, this is a thing that I like to do. Not everyone does this, but I'm gonna show you. I like to make a fist. Yep. I like to cut a piece of gauze that's about, I don't know, 24 inches long. I mean, pretty long. That's longer than 24. And what I do with this, and I'll explain to you why I like to do this. Here, flip it over. This starts creating this bar right here. And it holds it together. I go around, under, and then I wrap over and under again. And then it creates this lock here, like that. Now that I have this lock, see the bar that it created? Is gonna separate everything here. Now, the main reason why I like to do this, flip it, this is gonna hold the gauze steady. Once you start applying tape and the gauze, the pad could move. Now what this is gonna do, make a fist. I make sure the padding is over the knuckles. I push this down. Hold it, don't pull it yet, just hold it. And I make sure it goes in between the knuckles, and now pull it as tight as you can. Pull it, pull it. And the reason why I have them pull it, let it go real quick. All right, go ahead, pull it, right there, that's it. Now this holds the padding here. This is gonna hold it still. Once I start applying everything to it, the padding's not gonna move. Now now that he's holding it, I let him hold it. And I have him do it tight because it's gonna be a little uncomfortable. It hurts right here right now, huh? But I'm gonna take this off. So it doesn't matter how tight it is. All it's doing is holding the pad still. In a little bit, I'm gonna take it off. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Now that while he's holding it, I go back to my gauze. Ooh. I go back to my gauze. And I wrap around. I go up the wrist. Stay on it. I go up the wrist. Open. I go to the thumb. I do the X. And right here, I start covering the pad. I like to tuck in the bottom part to keep it nice where it's not sticking out. So if you look when I'm here, I tuck the bottom underneath the pad to make it more of that nice look to it. I tuck it in. And then when I'm here, every time I'm on top, tight. I come back. And then make a fist. And if you look, it's over his knuckles. Now, another thing that you could do here to make sure it stays tight there, you're good. Make a fist, make a fist. I go over the knuckles from here, around, and wrap around the pad. It keeps it that firm look, tight, and it stays, the pad stays on the knuckles. From here, I go back to the wrist. Remember, every time I go to the wrist, I work my way up. And now, this is when you're going tighter with the wrap, so it doesn't fall apart. And again, the wrap, open, make a fist, open, make a fist, open. The wrap, it's like a cast. I mean, it's not a cast, but it's meant to keep your bones in the same place. So you don't want it to be super loose. So if the wrap and your hand is in it, you can move your hand like crazy. It's not really secure. It needs to be firm. Obviously, if your fingers are turning purple, that's too tight, but it needs to be firm. It needs to be tight. Is it uncomfortable tight? No? And then another thing that I like to do, have conversations with your boxers during the time and let them know to speak up if it gets uncomfortable. Like, hey, if anything hurts, let me know, you know, because it's easier to fix right now than when we're done. He's like, oh, by the way, it hurts here. Oh, shit, you know, I'm done now. But if he was to tell me right now, hey, coach, it hurts here or here, I can fix it a lot easier right now. So make sure you let them know that. Sometimes they don't know that they can tell you that it hurts right now. Now, I cut the top part here. Make a fist. And now this is when I start applying the tape. This is actually one of the most important parts of the whole process. During this time, I make sure I tell them, you know, if you're gonna be still ever, this is probably the best time because it can mess up anything as far as this. First step, I'm gonna apply this in between the knuckles, the tape. But before I do that, I like to open this up for them. I open this up here, and I start creating that bar more comfortable. And I like to do the outer first. This honestly doesn't fucking matter, but this is what I like to do before I take off the one, because I'm gonna cut the one off. This one is the one I put in that he was holding, the gauze. I'm gonna cut that off. Before I cut that off, I put the tape. So I got this one, flip it, and here, make a fist. Make sure it's over, the padding's over. And you shoot right where the knuckle is. You gotta feel where the knuckle. So there's a knuckle here. I go in the middle. You cannot have tape over the knuckle. So this tape lands over the knuckle, they're gonna make you redo the gauze. I mean, you can't have it. So I feel the knuckle's there. I got a knuckle there. That means I'm gonna shoot in the middle. And I'm gonna go right here. Before I do that, you see how I've got all this gauze? I like to tuck it in. See how it's tucked in now? Tucked in, tucked in. I push it down. I feel the knuckle, and that's where I'm gonna shoot. And then to hold it down, I like to use the scissors. And then I'll do the next one. Same thing. Flip over, open it. What's up, Grizz? And I go right here. What's up, Jarrell? Good morning, sir. Good to see you. Flip it over. Same rule. See how it's got stuff, gauze sticking out? Make a fist. I tuck it in. Make sure the pad is over the knuckle. I feel the knuckle. I'm gonna shoot in the middle. I pull it, I go back, use my scissors to apply it, make sure it's sticking down. Now, flip it. The one I did earlier that hurt, the gauze. This is the part where I take it out. Now, the reason why, you don't have to, you can do it over. The reason why I like to take it off is because it was probably uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable, huh? So it did its job already. This job was to hold the gauze still for me. We already did his job. Now it was uncomfortable. I took it out. Now I apply the last tape in the middle. Just do your corn like yesterday. Remember what we did yesterday? Flip it over. Saint Grizzly, what's up, Panchito? Same thing, pad, middle. You're sparring today, Grizzly, okay? And then my scissors. And then that looks good. How's it feel? Does it hurt anywhere? Good? Now, rule is an inch back from where the knuckles is. I like to use 2 fingers. I feel the knuckles. This is where the tape can start. So right here is where I start creating my base. The easiest way to remember is see the thickness of the padding. That's where the border is gonna be for the tape. I can't put no tape across this way because the knuckles are there. So right here where the padding is, working my way down, that's where the tape is gonna be. So what I do before I start to put tape everywhere else, I create the border so that I know I'm not gonna go past this. So I grab my tape, flip it over, and I go right here. I tuck this in. And then I come back and then make a fist. And there's where the padding is. I do a straight line across. And the only reason this job for this is just to separate. So now I know I'm not going past that. That's it. Now from here, I like to use the thicker tape, which is this one. You don't have to, you could use the same tape. And I tape up and down first. The reason behind that, the most common area boxers hurt their hand is up here. It's like the most common area. So you want to give this area support. And I go here and I start the tape. Go sideways. I start the tape on the border. And I work my way straight down. Here. And I do this until I go all the way across. So I go again. And this is why I like the thicker tape. Make a fist, make a fist. There you go. Because it covers more real estate. So you don't have to do it as many times. You could do it with the smaller tape. It would just take more time. Hey, if you guys are fighting, you got 30 minutes to jump rope. You guys know, right? Keep a hard fist during this time. And yeah, and a lot of people don't do this part. A lot of people don't. I learned about this when I hurt my hand, and after that, I started to do this right here. There you go. There you go. Now from here, I start doing the tape. Where's that? Vertically? No, horizontally now. Side to side. And this is the finishing touches. This is when you're going to be close to done. I like to start up top, directly across. Actually, I forgot. I do with the thick one time directly across up top. So I go from the side here, make a fist, and I go all the way to the thumb. There you go. Now from here, the last thing to do is just cover it up. And I go from the top, and then with the tape, you lay it here with the tape. Always pull when it's on top. If the tape is down and you pull, the veins are here, and you can cut out the circulation. So when you pull the tape, I pull the tape on top. And here, I just go around, and then I pull on top. But if it's down here, the tape is down here, I don't pull here. Because if I pull here, where do you feel that pressure? On the bottom where your veins are. And that could cut out the circulation. So I pull on top and then I wrap around. So on top, pull, wrap around. Pull, wrap around. Pull, wrap around. Pull, wrap around. Pull, tight, wrap around. And I continue that pattern all the way through. Now, what I do with the thumb, open. Anytime I go around the thumb, I go here, wrap around, 360. I have them make a fist. If you don't have them make a fist, the thumb will be sticking out. You're gonna make it like stay like that. So I make a fist, pull. Yeah. Lisbeth, you're sparring too, Lisbeth. Lisbeth, you hear me? You're sparring too, so do your warm-ups with Grizzly, okay? Open. Right here. Pull. Make a fist. And then I go up top. And there goes the wrap. Now from here, last thing I like to do, just to make sure it sticks. And this is a personal preference. It's up to you. And I usually ask the boxer this. Some boxers like to have the wrap feel that it's tight and it's making this firm feel. If they like that, I don't cut here. If they don't like that, I cut here. If you cut this part here, this piece, it gives a hand more of a flexibility. You open. I personally never like that. Some boxers do, some people don't. If they do, I cut here. I cut this part off. If they don't, it makes, see how his hand is doing this already? See how his hand's bent? Make a fist? The way it's wrapped, it's tucked in. Like the tape that I put on top, it makes the wrap, the hand stay into like a fist. If he doesn't like that, you cut this part right here, cut this off, and he'll be able to open up his hand. See, like right now, he can't open up his hand. Again, that's a personal preference. But other than that, make a fist. There goes the wrap. That's a USA Boxing qualification wrap. Boom.